It is November 8th, 2025. My name is Crystal. We live in Connecticut and our garden died. It happened. The cold finally got to it. I don't know exactly how cold it was the other night. It was the night after I had harvested some things from the garden, and I'm very glad that I did. The zinnias, the tomatoes, all the beans, the peppers are done. The basil, well, maybe not all the basil, but I do have some things growing. I've got carrots out here and kale. That's pretty much it. And my Brussels sprout plants. That's hard to say. My Brussels sprout plants are hanging in there also. I'm very, very happy I started the garlic when I did and got them mulched in. It was like the best timing for it. It's a warm day today. It's about 61 degrees. Chilly enough that you need a sweatshirt, but it's absolutely beautiful out. So I thought I would take this opportunity to come out here and just start to clear out these garden beds, which I'm really excited to do. It gives me a chance to see the things that are doing well. Like I have celery next to me that's hanging in there. I've also got some herbs like oregano and parsley. Getting rid of all the dead stuff just lets me see what we have left that's still growing. And it is just a nice clean start for the 2026 garden. Speaking of the 2026 garden, I had a question on one of my videos last night, day before. I think it's Bob had asked. He lives in Connecticut like us, hello, and he was asking when we start our seeds. And so I thought, as I'm cleaning out some of these beds, I would talk about when I start seeds and what has worked well with me over the years. So let's get started. Right here I have my sweet pepper bed. Now I have seen many channels over the years talk about overwintering their pepper plants. You can dig them up, put them in a pot, bring them indoors, have them cut back, keep them keep the plant watered and things, and the plant will come back. And then you can transplant it back out to your garden the following season and it will produce peppers for you, usually faster than you would get if you started them from seed. I have tried this before. I can't remember if I took notes on it or whatever. I didn't really look too much into it, but I do remember that when I cut them back and brought them down into my basement near my grow lights, they started to grow rather quickly and it wasn't really sustainable down there. They ended up not making it. It just wasn't a good situation for me to transplant them out here. They ended up dying, I'm pretty sure. I do hope to try the process again when we have our greenhouse. That way I can not have to worry about bringing the plants into the house and things like that. My process for getting rid of these plants that are no longer is I just cut them right at the base of the plant. I leave all of the roots and everything in the soil. The worms love it. They eat the roots, they break down in the ground. It just makes for a more richer soil moving forward. And then I come in with a natural mulch and I just mulch the top of the bed. And that also, the natural mulch, it's a pine bark mulch. I used it recently in our garlic bed and the worms also enjoy that, and it actually returns itself back to a nice rich soil. That's just what has worked well for me over the years. Alright, so I got the hot peppers and sweet peppers done. One of my favorite things to do to keep track of stuff, because, you know, I forget year after year when I've started things and when I plant things and transplant stuff, because I use the Notes app on my phone. I just keep notes of when I start things and transplant them. So I have in my notes, and I'll do a little screenshot, I think, of what it looks like, but I'll put in October, I started the garlic, and then I put in January, I started sweet potato slips indoors, and I also started peppers and eggplants on January 26th. Now for me, I feel like that's a little late, and I might actually start them even earlier, probably maybe the first or second week of January. We'll see where I am at that point. Usually after the holidays, you know, there's appointments and lots of stuff we're catching up on for work and stuff, and then, you know, we're also cleaning up after the holidays, so like putting Christmas decorations away. So thinking of starting seeds is usually not top priority at that point, but maybe I'll be able to like push myself a little bit and get these seeds started even earlier this year, next year, to see how they do. My hot peppers, sweet peppers, and eggplants, I start all of those seeds in January. I start them in January because they take a really long time to produce, and I find that I am able to get a sooner harvest of peppers off of them when I start them early. The only issue is, depending on how you start your seeds, I start ours in peat pellets, and if you do that, then you might need to pot them up or make sure that you're providing them a fertilizer. Especially with the peat pellets, there's no nutritional value in the peat pellets, so I usually have to make sure that I have some sort of liquid soluble fertilizer that I put into them, or I pot them up into larger 3-inch pots, and those will usually last until I transplant them out in May. In February is when I start the brassicas, so I'll start cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, Swiss chard, kale, and I start other things too, like artichokes, maybe even Luffa in the past I've done. So that's when I start those things, is in February. Then mid-March is when I'll start the tomatoes, and that's all of our tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, slicing tomatoes, and then I'll also start some ground cherries at that point. Depending on what the long-term forecast says, how the temperatures are trending, and if they're trending warmer and it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting like a late season frost or late season snowstorm or something like that, then I'll start the zucchini, all the summer squash, the leeks, onions, those kinds of things. I will start indoors also. Towards the mid to end of March, if it's warm out, probably still getting frost temperatures, that's when I'll direct sow peas outside, radishes, rutabagas, and then beginning of April I'll do carrots, and if the peas didn't take, I'll restart peas at that point. There's still plenty of time for them. So then cucumbers and melons I'll start indoors in the middle of April. I'll leave some of the basic notes down in the description of the video. And if you want to leave a comment letting us know when you guys start things, what you have found works out better for you, that would be great, because all the information is just helpful for everybody. Beginning of May, I'll start pumpkins and winter squash indoors to get them to sprout quicker and then get them transplanted outside by the end of the month. I have found that many of these plants do very, very well when I direct sow them outside. Here's my notes from 2021. You know, I keep track of everything, how they did when I started fall seeds, what did well, what didn't do well, what my favorite varieties were. If you'd like me to talk about what my favorite varieties of things to grow right now is, I would be happy to do that, but I don't even know if anybody cares or not. I am pretty tired for today. We've had a busy morning and I got some more stuff I have to do indoors. So I'm gonna finish up what I was working on, and then I'm gonna head indoors and get a bunch of stuff done. Oh man, it's so cold. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but I'm not ready. I was waiting for the wind to stop for a second, but it's not going to. It's a couple of days later and it is much, much colder than it was when we were out here the other day. It is windier. I think it said it is 30 something degrees out, but it feels like 18. I am freezing. So I'm just gonna quickly go around and get these garden beds done on this side, and we are gonna call it a day and go back into the comfort and warmth of our home. I have to get this stuff done. If I do a little bit at a time, it's not so bad. If I just focus on doing little bits and pieces, because I really want to get this side done because I might be replacing one of these garden beds in the next couple weeks with one that was sent to us that I really want to try. I'd like to get these ones cleaned out. I'm going to be leaving the things that are still growing, like the oregano and the carrots, and the celery is still hanging in there, but I am going to do this as fast as possible. You're able to get these reusable clips. The ones on Amazon are a lot better quality than the ones you can get from Dollar Tree, but the ones at Dollar Tree work pretty good too. And they are my absolute favorite. You can reuse them year after year. Sometimes they fall apart a little bit, but it's pretty easy to put it back together. I just really like them. Looks like I got some volunteer dill that came up, which is nice. And I'm probably gonna end up with a lot of volunteer marigolds. There's seeds everywhere from the plant that was here. That's okay. But at least I got some of this corner cleaned out and this bed cleaned out. So, little progress, better than none. I still have to do these ones over here. I quit. I don't even know if I'll share this video, but I think maybe I should, because the struggle is real and it is very cold. I am not dressed at all properly for it. As much as I love colder weather, my body is not ready for working in this, and I for sure need like a couple pairs of pants on, because right now it literally feels like it's 18 degrees outside and the air is just brutal. The wind is brutal. It's blowing right through me. I can't do it anymore. So I think I'm gonna go in, get myself cleaned up, and do some stuff in the kitchen. We'll be back for sure in the garden, maybe on a day that doesn't feel like it's 18 degrees and it's super windy. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.